Hi, how you doing there? I was up in far eastern Kentucky helping my buddy look at some land. It was extremely vertical. The side of the hill was like that. Literally had to climb up the land like a ladder. Very vertical. Turns out he discovers that the land has a gravesite on it with 30 plus dead people. Most of the graves were around about the early 1800s. So it's interesting. Anyway, he talked to a realtor in eastern Kentucky, and this is where we were looking at it, is not far from Hazard, Kentucky, which is actually where the Dukes of Hazzard is based upon, like real deal Hatfield and McCoys and moonshiners. Turns out the real estate agent informs us that she can't keep enough houses, and this is it's actually a beautiful country, but it is out there. Yeah, like the excitement is for people to go to Walmart on the weekend. That kind of area. Turns out that there's such an incredible shortage of houses and people that are buying them up are Californians and people from New York and New Jersey. And I knew it was really bad, the exodus from California, but apparently it's actually way worse. Because a lot of people from California are taking exodus to Idaho and Colorado and Nevada, but apparently it's reached thousands of miles all the way to Kentucky. People are leaving en masse from California. One couple relates the story that California is, I don't know if it's the whole state now, is starting to tax well water. In other words, if you spend thousands of dollars to dig a hole and tap water out of the ground, California wants to put a meter on it and tax your well water. So self-sufficiency is absolutely impossible in California. And I can understand their plight. I lived for a good long while with the wife in San Francisco, East Bay, and Emeryville. Basically, it's all San Francisco. It's all connected there. And, despite, the wonderful oranges and the beautiful scenery in parts of it, it's just the only people that are going to be left in California in 4 or 5 years are either the super, super rich, Hollywood scumbags, and the super, super poor that are making stuff and fixing stuff and building stuff for the city. There will be no middle class in California. Another fact is, and this is fascinating, check it out if you don't believe me, and I've heard this many times from many people, that if you want to rent a U-Haul truck, for example, from California to Texas, we're going to leave this, taxation black hole because we can't afford to live here like normal people. And we don't have, many inalienable American rights in California because apparently California doesn't believe in the Bill of Rights in many instances, several aspects of it. So if you want to rent a U-Haul truck, it costs you 3 or 4. I saw it. Someone told me it's 6 times as much. So if you want to drive from so-and-so Texas to California, a U-Haul truck, it is really cheap. But if you want to take that same truck from that same spot in California and leave California, it is really, really expensive. Up to 6 times as much. They're trying to get the trucks back because everybody's fleeing California. And if you want to flee California with your junk and your U-Haul truck, it's going to cost you a lot of money. But if you want to move to California, which nobody is, move to California from Texas or, where, it's really, really cheap. Because they need those self-haul vehicles for people that are fleeing. So I found that fascinating. I knew Californians were fleeing to Idaho and Colorado, but the realtor says the Californians are buying up Kentucky home. Eastern, not like Lexington and Louisville. Real boonies. But I could see why they're doing it. You could live like a king with just a meager amount of money. Like a king in eastern Kentucky. For $50,000, you could buy a brick 2-story house on 10 acres of land. I find that fascinating. I don't know if you do or not, but Any Californians out there? I'm surprised I survived that jaunt on that vertical land, but I did. So, thanks for watching.